Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Elvis Bota, a strong NPP member, has also come out to react to OSP's declaration about Ken Ofori-Atta and others, asking them to go and answer question if really they know they have not stolen state money or anything. And also react to some of the NPP members who are trying to distance themselves from this case, asking them to, calling them hypocrites. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. Thank you. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment at the comment section or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. Thank you.
Elvis, yes, indefinitely means an unspecified period of time. So you don't know when you are coming. And so, is it not right for the office?
I have a problem. I have a problem with this country, and I have a problem with the law, and I have a problem with public officials, including lawyers. You see, we like hiding under technicality and legalities too much, and that is what happens. You see, the modus operandi of charlatans in society is to capitalize on weak laws. I associate myself fully to what the Honorable Yusuf Hussein have said. And I'm adding that, look, KOD, yes, if we are to be serious about punishing crime, especially financial crime, we should reduce the technicalities of the law. Catch the man today, hang him tomorrow, case closed. Catch him today, finish him by evening, end of story. When you play with criminals, they are criminals because they are intelligent, generally speaking. Now let me comment on the issue of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. In my young understanding of the history of Ghana, I'm yet to appreciate a politician who have worn white more than him, and a politician who have read quotations of the Bible more than him. At least I remember him for that. But I also remember him for the bad economic decisions he's taking and the pressure that has kept on Ghanaians and how that have affected the fortunes of my party, which we are struggling now to rebrand. The fundamental issue about security reporting or intelligence management is that we in the public will not be exposed to the real details that informs a particular decision. The OSP is acting on hardcore, high-speed intelligence. And of course, it's not everything they can tell the media. Otherwise, listen to the correspondences. The first letter that was given to Ken Ofori-Atta was, I think, on the 24th of January. Fast forward, on the 5th of January, a reminder was served. And on the 7th of January, his lawyers had written that his doctors needed him for medical attention. And so he had left the country, okay, indefinitely. Number one question, when did he leave the country? Did he leave the country after 24th January? Are you getting it? After he must have noticed that they've triggered processes towards investigating him. That is number one. If yes, as it appeared to be, why did you fail to inform the OSP that, look, I've acknowledged receipt of your invite, however, I'm unavailable for this and that reason, for which reason I'm asking for a rescheduling, where indefinite means what? So for him to be declared as a fugitive is on the basis of intelligence, high-speed intelligence. And some of us are quite privy to these things. We are students of the area, and so we learn. KOD,
Yes, sir.
indefinitely, he may never come at all. That option is there. And to protect the legitimate interests of the state, we have to find a way of going after him. Number two, as we talk, there are intelligence pointing, as purported by some cortesans, there are intelligence pointing to the fact that the letter we are even seeing as a note from the Mayo Clinic, who are supposed to be his doctors, could actually be false. So if that particular document purported to be giving details of his medical whatever is in question, does it not amount to the fact that the guy is hiding under his public health condition? Public because when he was sick, we all heard it, and the kind of treatment we all heard it in this country during COVID, and yet he was working even in his own interest, in his own health interest. Listen, he left his own data bank as MD on health grounds, yet was fit to manage the economy of Ghana. What an irony. Are you getting it? I'm sick, I can't manage my company, but I'm well enough to manage all sectors of the Ghanaian economy. Hypocrisy. That tells you that that's an agenda boy. Are you getting it? Now, number two, if you understand serious and organized crimes, they are called organized crimes because we have people in other countries. These are things that are transnational, right? And you can have state actors being very complicit. So some elements in America, in the United States of America, must be very interested in whatever happened. Go and look at the profile of the companies involved in the transactions and investigate the shareholders of the companies. Let's not limit it to only the countries they were registered. A company can be a Ghanaian company, but the shareholders are not Ghanaians, isn't it? Absolutely. Go and look at that and try to do some intelligent tracing to why, of all places, it is the US he is found now and saying it's indefinite. That is why Lawyer Inusaf Hussein is saying that if you are not careful with the use of fugitive, and I believe that we could have used a different term. Okay, you have the people who, no, I understand. But to even make your case very effective, once a person is a fugitive, he can seek asylum. And yes, extradition now becomes an option. Absolutely. In the absence of, but you know the difficulty with extradition. If you do not have, mutual legal assistance with the country the person is in, and where you are unsure whether they will cooperate fully with extradition, especially so when elements in that country are either co-conspirators to the purported crime you want to investigate, you could have a problem. And that is exactly what will be at play in this matter. I'm telling you, I'm not going to spill a lot on this platform, but watch it in the days coming. I'm telling you. Again, you see, we must trace a history of people. By the way, the son of a thief, let me tell you, the son of a thief, in my local parlance, the son of a thief is feared. Everybody keeps your things well when the son of a thief is around. Not the thief himself, even the son. Even though you have no history of, you may not have history of theft. People are careful how they keep their belongings. So long as you are from a family where your father is recognized as a thief. So those are the issues. But we have a country that was in the hands of people whose parents are openly known as CIA agents. If they are away from the country indefinitely and are actually living in the countries that employed their fathers to work against their own nations, Why wouldn't we be afraid, and why wouldn't you declare them fugitives?
Elvis.
These are descendants of J.B. Dankwa, who was a CIA agent. How sure are we that America will not be protecting the man?
Elvis, thank you very much.
Look, to conclude, I am in for corruption investigation. I've always maintained that I trust my party, the NPP.
Right.
So, as many NPP people as possible who are invited for investigation, they should make us proud by going there.
All right.
Go and prove your case if you've not stolen.
Thank you, Elvis.
Case closed.
I like the disposition of the MPP people now, because now Asefua is saying Kenofurata should carry his own cross.
No, but that is the height of hypocrisy. When I was consistently talking about these things, these were the charlatans praising them. Today that things have gone bad, everybody is trying to whitewash. They are all part of the problem.
Anyway, anyway.
Are you getting it? They are part of it. Why didn't they talk about it when we were in power? They are cowards.
Thank you. Timothy Atabuade Awontrim is watching us this morning. He says indefinitely means perpetuity. Ken definitely is a fugitive par excellence. Knowing his...
Yes, I send him greetings. Timothy has done a good job for the NDC. I'm surprised he hasn't been giving any place yet. I pray that the president's eye will catch him. Timothy has suffered.
The president's eye
Timothy
has not been able to catch a lot of people.
Timothy has suffered. At least in the case of Timothy, somewhere small. Timothy have suffered. Timothy have suffered. You know it. Pan-African knows this. I think sometimes we need to be very frank and do the advocacy sometimes for some of
his qualification for a job is suffering.
It's about loyalty and commitment.
And I mean, he's been very nationalistic in his...
For public service appointment.
He's very nationalistic in his...
The president has a vision.
Kwame, I beg you.
Commitment, loyalty, competence. These are the three things you need.
You have now added competence. This is where the woman had the problem. Competence has to be part of it.
I'm not saying that Timothy is not competent. He may very well be competent.
Yeah.
But don't let's bastardize the process of appointment.
Into
You understand?
loyalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
This thing about
we've seen the
can
effect.
sit on platforms like this.
I don't see the effect.
Who cannot be appointed, who cannot be appointed as well. I think we should be stopped.
In the NPP, competence is key, nationalistic posture is key. You
We see the
know.
effect.
Now,
Timothy may
when
very
it comes
well
to-
be competent, he may be entitled and so on, but I think quite honestly that the use of platforms such as this to engage in this propaganda must end.
Now to the substantive issue of the Attorney General doing the things he's doing, clearing people, withdrawing some of the cases. It shouldn't be news for us in this country. It shouldn't be news at all. Actually, it was expected. If you look at the kind of engagements between these two political parties, NPP, NDC, if you look at how and where our politics have gotten to, it's as though the behavior of one is sinful towards the other. Are you getting it? Yep. And so there is no time wasting at all when there is an opportunity to get each other exonerated. Both parties are guilty of this. And you see, for me, he finds place in law to do what he has done.
Right.
And I cannot sit here and challenge that. But the factual issues we should be considering now is as to whether or not these things are good for our justice administration system. Whether they are good. Yes, there could be justifiable grounds to do so. The law may have given him the powers to withdraw cases or enter a nolle prosequi without necessarily explaining anything. The law may grant that. There may then also be a time where people who are truly having skeletons in their wardrobe, okay, be let off the hook by dint of some of these actions. So for me, it's not been too responsible a thing to do. And if I were one of those persons, especially Ato Forson's case in particular, in fact, the Attorney General himself said this man just a question. The MP for Jache question. that he said no. He said his case has not been withdrawn because the man said he wants to actually proceed to prove his innocence. I read it on one of the channels. Attorney General, he said that. So then, why can we not have a system of judiciary, a system of attorney, a system of public prosecutions that are actually just devoid of this politicking? For me, some of these things are why we should separate those two roles. That office should not be for politicians. Games like this will be played. Whether it is party A or party B, charges are always dropped here and there, depending on what the political interest on the matter is. And when you do that, the overall agenda of the state, the overall interest of the state is not achieved. When you do that, the overall interest in ensuring that justice is done in the interest of the republic may not fully be achieved. So for me, it's irresponsible, legality is irresponsible, legal administration is irresponsible, justice administration system we have. And this ties even into the appointment of our judges too. Look at the issues that surround the Chief Justice sometimes, just by dint of who appointed the person. So these are the issues, and so I don't think that is something the state we should encourage as a nation. Look, we have seen even Donald Trump, an ex-president of America at the time, how he had to face the law and remained in it until he even became president. Sometimes it's good to allow the law operate. But I also agree that some of these things have fertile grounds to fly because of the nature of our courts. So, for example, the Collins Dowday's case, as one in focus, you have to just come to the realization that to have this case for about 10 years, running in court, nothing is being said, it raises questions. It really, really raises questions. Why are our courts, even in the face of glaring evidence, allow some cases to travel a distance? And sometimes, in the face of lack of evidence, rather than throw the case out, they still let it out there. These are the things causing us to have lack of evidence, lack of confidence in our judiciary, in our courts. So we need to rework this. And I'm worried with how we are dealing with security and legal issues. And just to digress and actually conclude on that note, I got really touched when Mr. Pratt was talking about the role of the national security, even in the Ken Ofori-Attes issue, as purported. Another part of that story, KOD, do you know, has it that, and as to whether those CCTV footages are verified or not, I am not in a position to tell. But there are also claims out there that the military people who purportedly actually invaded that house were led by Richard, is that the name? Japa. And there are footages out there. That's why I said it's purported. I don't know, I cannot justify that here. Everything we are saying now is alleged KOD. Even the fact that what the OSP said is also alleged. So let's talk about it. So how we toil with security and legal issues is bad. So imagine that a matter that is purely under the ambience of the law, if it comes to reality that Japa, Mr. Richard Japa, who was just also going through trial, is the one leading soldiers to the houses of functionaries of the former government, then it means that we are witch hunting. Well, I believe that where there are witches, let's hunt them. Okay, but let's do so legally. Now, if you have cases also being thrown away sometimes like this, then it begins to let it look like the poor man, the ordinary citizen, is stupid. Because at the end of the day, if it was ordinary persons involved in this, there are people on remand for years in his own because they are not politicians. Their cases have not been dropped. Why is Dominic Ayini not investigating some of those issues and dropping them where they need to be? Must it always be about politicians? Why it's Dominic Ayini, with the greatest respect to him, he's one of the men and uncles I respect a lot. Why is he not going to Insawam and the other prisons. There are some people 5 years in remand. Their dockets cannot even be traced. Why is he not dropping that? Is it because they are not politicians? Must it always be about us who have decided to be politicians and operating on the privilege advantage of the power emanating from the will of the people? What hypocrisy is this?
Thank you.
The government shouldn't start that way. I'm telling you, they should do something different.
Thank you.
As for this is the usual thing. Mahama and his government should do something different.
Thank you very much.
To wear the while of the expectations and the confidence we have all reposed in him. Thank you.
This is how far you have come today, and you have more in stock and you cannot afford to miss out. Please stay tuned by subscribing to the channel, turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified duly of anything that will be loaded onto the channel. And to our new members, we urge you to do same. Share the link to your friends to also watch what is happening around the globe as well. Thank you. God bless you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.